Hi, it's Gwen at, I was going to say my work's address then. I better not. It's a lifestyle sew. I've got something that you might be interested in. It's an applique book, but it's a little bit different. It has a whole load of flowers, it has insects, and it has birds. And it has dogs and cats, and a few cats as well. So it's got quite an array of different things, but it really is a good applique book. And it's got, it not only tells you comprehensively what you've got to do, but it also has great patterns. And they look pretty realistic, which is quite hard to do. So you need some real sort of like thought when you're doing something like that or creating something like that for people like us. I'm going to do that. It's a bit hot here. Gosh, really getting hot. So I found it on Amazon, this book, the big book of applique. I'll when I go into it, I'll show you what you've got to do. There's a process. I'm going to take you there first, and then I'll talk you about the process. Because you know about applique, you're going to have hand applique, which is this book's for, machine applique, which is two types of machine applique. There's one that where you get the piece of material and you actually put it down on the machine, and you get your machine and you basically manually work your machine to go around each part of the applique. You move it about to do that. That's the old-fashioned way of doing it. That's the way most people do it. The new all singing dancing way is, well, there's two. One, if you've got, I'll do the other one first, the machine one, which is you have a program which you create a cut file, and you put down the stages where you've got to sew around each part, and you will have your material. So you'll put that into, you'll save this, what you've done, your work you've done, you'll put it into your machine on a UBS dongle thing. And as it comes, number two is a placement line. You put down your material and it'll stitch around. You'll take it off the machine. You'll cut around each piece of material and you do it like that. So that's one way of doing the machine embroidery. The other is to use scan and cut, which I use because it's much, much easier. Because you haven't got all this material and you haven't got the faff of taking your hoop off and doing that. So it's two stages you missed out straight away. You'll have the files downloaded to your well, actually, I'll have the files downloaded to Brother Canvas. Brother Canvas is for anybody to use, and I use it quite a bit. So it's for anybody to use. You don't have to have a Brother sewing machine to use it. So any make of sewing machine can use Brother Canvas, basically. So I'm going to be sending my patterns from Cloud, from my Kindle to Cloud, and then from Cloud to my computer, pick it up on the computer and put it into Canvas. And I'm going to do a bit of work on there, and then I'm going to send each part that I've separated out, and put that through the scan and cut. The scan and cut is going to cut each piece of material out exactly. The trick is you do not ever, ever, ever change the size. So you've got to be very careful when you then pick all your pieces up, and you will then just go over into Simply Applique or another software that you are using, and you will then get the files from Canvas and put them into Simply Applique that I use. I've also got Wilcon Hatch 3 as well, which, by the way, is Benina had Wilcon Hatch design all of their software. So there's a little bit of information for you. So you'll pick it up from your canvas, all your separated parts, and you'll put them into your Simply Appliqué. I don't know, I had to get mine from all brands. I had no problems whatsoever. They're very competitive on price, and they're really good service. I tried in the UK to get it. I couldn't get it in the UK. They may have it now. I couldn't find it in the UK. But I got mine abroad, basically, in the US. So open up that, and what you can do in the Simply Appliqué, you've got to be really careful you don't missize it. You know, you really have got to be careful when you get each part. You must not missize it. You will organize each part for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 on one side, basically. That is how it's going to get stitched out. The feet get stitched out first, the beak, then this, that, and the other, if that's the order that you've got it in. Then you can alter the size of the stitches. So you want really tiny stitches, really quite small. That's going to go around. You can have all different types. You could have a blanket stitch. You could have, well, whatever it is. I had it on the tip of my tongue then. Satin stitch. And you can make it really small and go around. You can. It's not only just applique. It's embroidery too. So you can create, say, in your canvas, feet for the bird, transfer that into Simply Appliqué, make them smaller, because it doesn't matter about the feet. Anything that's embroidery doesn't matter about the size, because you're controlling that. Because you're in the final program. So you can make your feet tiny and make the stitches tiny and things like that. You can manipulate all of that. And then when you're all done, all you do is when you are happy with they're all getting stitched out this way, you've got to make, if you're putting a tail feather in or something, you want it to slip under the bird. You don't want it sticking on top where it stitches. You want it underneath. Things like that you would do. So you can see it on the screen as you're putting all of this together. And it also will have a stitch out. So when you finish doing all of this, what you will do is press the stitch out, and it will actually stitch out on the machine everything in order that you've put it in. And if it's not in order, you stop the machine and you go around and you move the parts about, and then you start it again. And then you can do it so you know when it comes to your sewing machine, it's going to stitch out. Then you press a magic button. And we feel, how clever are we? It always makes me, you do have to do the work, you know, you do have to put it all together, basically. But it's so simple. You put it, and you put it on your UBS, or is it USB? And then you stick it in your machine. But because you've got all your fabric, that's the scanning cuts already cut out for you at exactly the right size, when it goes down on the machine, you just literally taking your parts and just dropping it down, and the machine's going to stitch out. If by any chance that is not, when you go around and it's not quite catching your fabric as it goes round, just stop. Don't panic. Stop. Take your USB out, go back down to your machine, alter the size of those stitches, save it again, come back, put it in, and just go over what you've actually done previous. So, you know, don't worry about stop and start. It's stitches. They're all going to be close together to hold it tight anyway. So just go all over it again. And that is the art of it. And that's the love I do. That's the bit I really like. I did this when I did the chicken quilt. I haven't got the chicken quilt up, actually. I don't know what I did with it. I think I put it in the cupboard. So each part had a chicken, and you did exactly the same as that. But now I'm going to show you, it's going to be a little bit shaky, because I'm going to actually show you on the computer how to get into Cloud. Now, Cloud, if you order Kindle books like I do, I order a lot of reading books. I don't order many other books, but this was, you know, I ordered a few, but this in Appliqué book is pretty good. She must do some more Appliqué books. I'm not sure. This can't be just her one book, but I can't remember the name, but I'll show you in a minute. But it really is a very, very good book, a very easy book. very easy to download it and send it to your computer. And this is all what this is about today, is showing you about this book, that you can use it. In my opinion, there's not a lot of point buying the book, because if you buy the book and it's an applique book, you are going to have to take that book and put it on some sort of scanner and scan, and it is a faff, because I used to do it all the time. It really is a faff, and you always get that dark line down the side. But if you can send it electronically to your computer, then obviously you're not going to get any of that, and it's no work that you're doing. It's just a press of a button again. So further to do, let me just log in. There we go. And I'm going to take it out to the computer. I'm just going to... Okay, so we're into Amazon. So this is... Oh, where's that gone? No. Oh, I've made Amazon too big. There you go. Sorry. You get the door. There you go. So this is what you want. It says all and the little button. So click it. And you want to go down to Kindle, because I've saved my books to Kindle. I'm going down. Kindle. There it is. Kindle e-reader and books. So we click on that. And then I need to drag it down again to a bit more. What does that say? Manage your contents. Cloud. Oh gosh, I'm blind. Kindle Cloud Reader. Bang. And that's all it is. So now you've got the book, and it is, who's it by? Carol Armstrong, the big book, all of pretty and playful applique, and it is lovely. And like that. Okay, so we're going to open the book. The book will open, and you'll need to download this book, or you'll need to download the patterns, I would say. So I think it's about halfway along. So if I go about halfway along, let it do that. Embellishments, a bit more. You want to come to the grasshopper. There we go. The grasshopper. When you get to the grasshopper, you see what I mean? Now that's been hand done. But, and it'll say download. So I've downloaded this pattern, so you're going to download it. And then it will come up to here. This is a Mac, by the way. Where do I want to go? Oh, there it is. Oh, I need to be over here. So that's the download. So you open that, and it'll bring up your book, and that is basically the book. So once you, I haven't got it open, so I can download it. Okay, so bring the pattern up and download it. And there you go. And I just go to this side, and I just want to take that sidebar off. I can't use my mouse and this at the same time. Get rid of it. Right, okay, so I want to go down. This book is pretty good, so I'm going to whiz down. See, there's the amaryllis. But this is just showing you all the information about the element. Although it looks like that's the pattern, it's not. That's just all the notes and all the things that you would need for the amaryllis. And then it's going to go down and go down, and that's for all the different things it's got. I'm just going to try and fast track that and get down to the actual pattern bits, because originally I thought that's what it was. So when we get down to all the pattern bits, you've got birds. There we go. So you've got this is the patterns. So there you see what I mean about this. Look at that. That's all flowers. There's the cat in the garden. There's a squirrel. I think that's another cat in the garden. All these quirly whirly things with another cat in the garden, another cat. Let's go down. Come on, a couple of kittens. Cat in a fishbowl. Oh, there's more cats than I thought there was. That's amazing. I didn't notice how many cats there were. And a bird, cat and a bird. We're going to go, now we're into the dogs. There's loads and loads and loads of dogs. Anyway, I'm defeating the object of, a little dog there. So all you do then is you can click on this, because this is the pattern. Click on the pattern and you're just going to go up and you're going to hit file. Oh, you don't even need to hit file. Look, the pattern is here, look. There it is. You're going to press print. And then when you press print, it brings up your printer. Now, if you press print straight away, it's going to download everything and you don't want that. So you just need to go into pages. So you're going to go into your pages and you're just going to put that page in, whatever page that is, 177. And you're just going to put 177 in, and then you're just going to press print. And so this is, you've got all of that information now, so you can do what you want with it. You can run with it and do all sorts of things. It's just something to get your teeth into it, something different, something new. And you can have great fun with doing that. One of the fun projects that I thought maybe I would do eventually is I've got a quilt cover, and the quilt cover is got a tear at the top, a very straight line tear. It's a really expensive quilt cover, but it's an American quilt cover. My niece used to be the design director for Martha Stewart, so the creative director, the creative director for Martha Stewart many years ago, and then she left and went to another American high-end company, and then she went into interior design, and I think worked for Peter Marino in New York. But the quilt cover that I bought it actually when I was living in France, and it was a lot of money that we bought it. A really lot of money. The set, the sheet, the valance, and the quilt covers and everything, because it was on the high end scale of what they did. But the actual, I hold a quilt cover up to my neck like this and go to sleep. And because of that, all the time, grabbing it, it's wore like a slit, and it's gone basically right across now. It started a small split, and I moved it and it went right across. So I'm going to stitch that, because it's just more or less like you've taken a pair of scissors, really. The thread's just broken, it pulled right out. So I'm going to stitch all of that together, and then I'm going to unpick the sides, and then I'm going to put rather some thick satin right across, because it's in white or something like that, and I'm going to stitch that down, and you won't know any difference, and put some backing on it and you won't know any difference. Hey presto, I'll have a new quilt. But I thought, and because this is such a nice embroidery, because you can do embroidery with this as well, because it's applique, but if you had birds, it wouldn't have a applique beak. It would have, embroidery beak, an embroidery feet. So on Simply Appliqué, which I would be using to do this, you would just put embroidery bits in for those bits that you aren't going to put applique in, and that's what the machine does. It just switches and does it. That's the beauty of this applique machine. It isn't just doing the applique; it can do all sorts within that applique range. So I thought, if I measured the quilt cover right across, I don't even have to unpick the sides. This is the beauty of it. I don't have to unpick the sides at the bottom, but I could separate it, say 12 inches up, draw myself a line right across, and then divide it into boxes, equal size boxes, put a line down. So therefore, when I do each applique, it's in a certain box. So I could do a flower and a bird, and in the center I could do like a little scene, and then flowers and birds or whatever it is across. And I thought that would be absolutely, I could do that all, because it's white, I could do that in all, not the very colourful colours, but all like the creams and like shaded and white sort of thing. So it's very sophisticated. Do each section very sophisticated and have a beautiful scene, and maybe some flowers that are actually cut out in satin and quilted, and I think that would be beautiful. I think that would be really, really, really nice. So I thank you from the bottom of my heart for actually listening to me. And for the people that are subscribed to me and joined my YouTube channel, though it hasn't been as active lately because I really haven't been doing much. Thank you for sticking with me. It's been a long haul, this trying to sell this house and getting back to Suffolk where I came from, and hopefully I will be able to achieve it this year because I'm determined I'm not going to come off the market until it's sold. I do have a nice house here. I've got to say I do have. But so I'm not in any, and I'm very, very lucky the job I've got. I mean, I'm a bookkeeper and I run the show. So I don't have anybody above me except the director. And he's very, very flexible. So I can stay there as long as actually he doesn't want me to leave full stop. Appreciate me saying this, but you know, I'm going. And I'm retiring. I should have retired last year. I've stayed on another year. And now it's like another year and a half. Actually, I've actually stayed on. But I'm looking forward to doing more sewing, more cards. I got into card making. Oh my gosh, I thought I'd never, ever, ever get into card making. It's so addictive. So it's expensive. It's so addictive. Oh my gosh. I never expected. I mean, the people that make cards out there, you'll know what that's like. It's like, oh my goodness me. But that's another whole ball game. I still love my Benina 790 Pro. Absolutely beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful machine. Okay, so I'll take care and see you soon. Bye.